The sun had barely risen over the bustling streets of Lagos when Aisha woke up to the sound of pounding on her door. Her heart raced. This wasn't the first time she had felt danger crawling up her spine, but something about today felt different, ominous. For years, she had lived a life she never imagined for herself. Born in a small village in northern Nigeria, Aisha had once dreamed of becoming a nurse, but poverty and desperation had led her down a darker path. She had moved to the city at 18, filled with hope, but that hope quickly withered when she realized the promises of good-paying jobs were a mirage. A friend had introduced her to the business, telling her that it was the only way to survive in the cruel streets. That was 5 years ago. Now, the money she had hoped to save for a better life had become a trap, chaining her to a world she desperately wanted to escape. The knocking intensified, and Aisha froze. She had been in dangerous situations before, violent clients, police raids, but last night had been different. She had met a man, well-dressed, charming, someone who seemed like he had money and influence. She had felt lucky, thinking this one client might help her get out of this life. But everything had gone horribly wrong. They had driven to an isolated spot on the outskirts of the city, far from the neon lights and noise. As soon as they were alone, the man's smile had vanished. His charm turned to menace. He pulled out a knife, his intentions clear. Aisha had fought back with everything she had, adrenaline and fear giving her the strength to escape his grip. She fled into the night, stumbling through the dark streets, her breath ragged, her mind consumed with terror. She didn't know how, but she made it back to her small apartment. Now, she feared the man had found her. Her hands shook as she reached for her phone, but she had no one to call. The pounding continued. She had to decide or face whatever waited on the other side of the door or run again. Her heart told her to run, but her body was frozen in place. Suddenly, the door burst open. 3 men stormed in, their faces hard and unforgiving. Aisha's blood ran cold. They weren't here to talk. Where is it? One of them growled, his voice low and dangerous. I don't know what you're talking about. Aisha stammered, backing into a corner. The money. He said you took it. The realization hit her like a punch to the gut. In her frantic escape, she must have grabbed the man's wallet without realizing it. Now, they had come for her. She shook her head, tears streaming down her face. I don't have anything, I swear. Please, just let me go. One of the men pulled out a gun, pointing it at her chest. You've got one chance to give us what we want, or this is it for you. Aisha's mind raced. She was trapped, cornered with no way out. The regret she had buried for so long now flooded her with overwhelming force. How had she ended up here? Was this how it would all end? Before she could answer,